Hi everyone, it's Miss Champagne. All right, let us continue from the book, 3 Business Strategies to Get Contracts and Make Profits in Africa. You go, you do, you're done. All right, now let us continue from chapter 11, and chapter 11 is called How to Secure the Contract. Okay guys, so I really break it down in this book, in this chapter. So also this book is on Amazon, but if you want the printed version, please get it from me. Okay, now I talk about my Nigerian friend Martin because I was asking him for advice. Now his advice is like excellent, but he tends to be very straightforward, which is funny. And he also had to re-educate me about African business people's mindset and how that is related to securing or not securing contracts in Africa. Okay, and I'm writing down what he told me. Now, Martin explained to me that in the U.S. we have more of a playing field because a level playing field because we have access to credit. But in Africa, everything is like cash based. And he also said that in Africa, to be part of a of a certain social status, you need to look the part, which I do find. I find that a lot in Ghana, like Ghana, Rwanda, and Japan actually. The men dress to the T. And now I'm understanding that that's like they want to see prestigious, which they all look good. They're all fabulously dressed. I mean, they look really good. But the point that he was making that, and he says this, not me, this is in quotes. Oh, no, this is not in quotes, but he said I didn't say that. So he gave me the example. He said if a Nigerian, for example, has $10,000 in the bank, he would probably pay $9,500 for a Range Rover so that he can appear to be from a certain social status. And then when I told my former business partner, I told him that my former business partner also had a Range Rover, which broke down and he couldn't afford to get it fixed. And my former business partner, asked me for money in a joking way, like if I was going to fix his car, which would have cost $1,000 to $3,000 to fix. Martin said that he was not surprised that Thomas had got a Range Rover that he could not afford to repair. He just wanted to look more important and rich. Now, in terms of securing contracts, Martin said that when you must know when you're dealing with the GRA. I'm going to write that down. That's important. GRA. And the GRA is the General Run Around Guy. And this person, and this could be a woman also, is somebody who not only wastes your time, but your money. Now, in general, if one goes to Africa to meet a potential local business partner, most likely you're dealing with, or not most likely, but you could be dealing with the GRA like I was with my former business partner. And this person, the person from the diaspora, so myself, I want a contract, but this person, the general runaround guy, will string you along and they'll extract money from you along the way. And you would think that this person is acting as an agent, but they're not. And they might not be doing any work, but they still expect you to give them money, to also tip them for the work that he or she's not even doing. Now, Martin explained to me that these tips, we call them bribes, but he said in the African continent it's called the kickback system. Once again, this is Martin saying this, not me. Please don't be mad at me. I'm just reporting what he told me. Okay, now, he actually said, now, if you happen to secure a contract, hopefully without a bribe, because that is illegal if you're American, he explained that if you have not, and he is Martin, if you have not received your money in advance, then your contract is not secure. He said, even if your flight and accommodation is paid for, that's a pledge. Your contract's still not secure. And he also said, that you will not meet the owner, which I agree with, but the manager. And sometimes the manager, I'm not sure if the managers could also be, well, I guess a manager could be a general runaround guy. Actually, yeah, it could be as well. But they'll expect a kickback. So, for example, let's say if your contract is $10,000, but the GRA guy, the manager, would request $15,000, and he'll keep 5 from himself and give you the 10. And he said that, Martin said that you me, all of us, we must decide if we can actually deal with this type of system. And he blankly said, the decision is yours. And I was like, wow. So then I said to him, I said, Martin, why would he or she, the general runaround guy, expect someone to tip him or her? And Martin said, he said, no, I said, what's the point? And he said, by giving the GRA money, you would respect them more. So this person, and I kind of felt the same way with my former business partner. I guess he felt like he was important because I guess he was giving me information, but the thing is that I didn't need him at all. I didn't need him at all because the business was myself. And I had already been doing business in Asia, and Asia is a, I don't want to say I don't want to say it's a requirement to work in Africa, but I was able to ease on in because of my Asian background, even though my former business partner said, oh, it's too, they're different markets, but I was able to ease on in. So anyways, all right, now, my thing is that this is what Martin said. He said people get scammed because they think investing $1,000 is appropriate, but the GRA may think, and you may think that the GRA may be a billionaire or something, but in actuality, he or she is broke. So he warned that one can try to do business in Africa, but you may fail. And that's why I wrote this book. I wanted people to know what I found when I joined an African business boot camp, and then I had an African consultant. You want to come on in? Okay, come in. You're interrupting. Hi everyone. I'm actually doing a boot camp, and this is one of my participants for later on today. Say hi.
Hi everybody.
Hi. Yeah, so we're talking about 3 business strategies to get contracts in Africa. You go, you do, you're done. Okay. All right, so I'll see you later today. Okay. All right. No worries. All right, guys, so let's continue. All right, so Martin, he warned that one can try to do business in Africa, but you may fail. And that's why, once again, I wrote this book, because myself, I'm very, very hyper. I'm very obsessive. I know what I'm doing. So once again, it was an easy slide or transition for me, but not everyone is me. Not everyone's a teacher. Not everyone's a trainer. Not everyone has experience in working in Asia, which helps you with working in Africa. So you may fail. I might fail. I mean, that's just life. You just try again. Now, so in this book and my workbook and my Jump Asia, Jump Africa Academy, or Jaja Academy, I wanted to develop a guide that helps you to minimize you not fail, or minimize you to succeed and to not fail. All right, now, the thing is that what I found with my African business consultant, this is the reality that he or she will not tell you, that maybe the thing you're doing is not going to work. And if they tell you that, then you are not going to need them anymore. So I find that the African business consultants are very indirect. They don't really give you a step-by-step guide on how to do anything because they want you to be dependent on them. I don't like that. That is not my philosophy. I want to teach people about how to be independent for themselves, independently from me. Yes, you can depend on me, but you need to be self-sufficient. That's just my motto. Now, also Martin stated that when you are not present, and he's absolutely right, to conduct your business in Africa, you're most likely to encounter scanners. He's absolutely right. And another scam he talked about, this is really important, called the corporate hustle. And he really broke this down for me. All right, the corporate hustle. Now, Martin explained to me that the corporate hustle is when a consultant can arrange business meetings for people, most likely blacks from the diaspora like myself, to go to Africa to conduct business, and I'm not even sure what that even means. Now, the participants from the diaspora will actually believe they're meeting people who have the authority to green light their business proposals and approve their contracts. But as Martin pointed out, these business people, most likely, they may not even be who you think they are, and they are probably the people who cannot approve your contract anyways, because they're not the owners. The owners can do that. So you will probably have a long, drawn out and unproductive meeting where you do not accomplish your goals. And I experienced this, or not so much me myself, because I was able to do my own boot camps and demo lessons. Not boot camp, sorry. I was able to get my own like demo lessons set up independently from my African business consultant, because I didn't want to go to Africa and not have anything accomplished. Now, other people, they were not able to do that because, once again, they didn't live in Asia. I did. They didn't have a business already. I did, or services already. I did. So that was a little bit different for me. So my thing is that even if you have an African business consultant, I'm your African American business consultant. Your African business consultant would arrange meetings with industry leaders, and I don't even know what that means. I have no idea. And potential local business partner. Once again, I don't know what that means either. But my point is, these are not your customers. Why are you meeting with them? You don't know who they are. You can't certify who they are. They may not even be who they say they are. All right, now I go on to say that even though my African business coach introduced me to 2 companies via the local business partner in Ghana, and 1 company in Ghana and Rwanda, so I can conduct a demo lesson, I did my own independent primary research, and I was able to implement my own business strategies, which made me different from the other participants on the trip, because I'm independent. I don't depend on anybody fully to do anything for me. So this is what led me to meet my potential customers and secure contracts by myself when I went to Ghana the second time after my second business trip going to Rwanda. Now, I have a story here, but you know what? I've been talking for a long time, and you guys can read the story here. This is in chapter 11. Now, in story. Now, number 1, these are the tips that Mr. Martin gave to me. Number 1, research your African country's terrain. Secondary research or calling them. Number 2, visit the African country on an African business trip. Meet your customers, learn the culture and the customs. Number 3, when you meet potential local business partners, and most likely they will approach you, beware of people who do not have influence, such as the GRA, the general runaround guy. Number 4, be honest with yourself. There's a kickback system in Africa, although not every business or business person engages in the system, but you must decide, as Martin explained, to engage in the system or not. Number 5, you must meet your potential customers, pitch your services to them, do a demo lesson, speak to the manager, speak to the owner if possible. Repackage your services to suit their needs. Number 6, meet the manager and owner to sign the contract and receive your payment. And number 7, do your job that you signed up to do. All right, guys, sorry that video was a bit long. So we talked about chapter 11, how to secure your contract. All right, if you have any questions, please contact me. Bye.